Hey again, Lion families, it's Miss Hillary here, and I'm going to read to you today another Passover story. Now, this story is called the Passover Scavenger Hunt. Passover Scavenger Hunt by Shauna Silva, illustrated by Miki Sakamoto. Rachel had a plan. Every Passover, Great Uncle Harry led the family Seder and hid the afikomen. But Great Uncle Harry was a terrible hider. Rachel and her cousins knew all of his hiding places. In the tissue box, on the bookshelf, behind the goldfish bowl. Rachel had an idea. It was a few hours before the Seder, and Great Uncle Harry was taking a nap with Rachel's puppy, Hot Dog. "Uncle Harry, you're so tired," said Rachel. "Why don't you let me hide the afikomen for you tonight so that you can just relax?" Great Uncle Harry smiled. "Good idea." And he went back to sleep. Rachel grabbed her markers, scissors, and a big piece of white cardboard. She had a lot of work to do. During the Seder, Rachel squirmed with excitement. Great Uncle Harry took the middle matzah and broke it in half. He wrapped it in a white napkin and passed it to Rachel. "This year, Rachel is hiding the afikomen," he announced. Rachel held up an envelope labeled Clue Number 1. "We're doing an afikomen scavenger hunt," said Rachel. "I've hidden 6 envelopes around the house. Each envelope has a puzzle piece and a riddle that will lead you to the next clue. Once you find the clues and solve the puzzle, you will find the afikomen." She handed the envelope to Michael. Inside, he found a cardboard puzzle piece and a riddle that he read aloud. "Karpas is parsley, fresh and green. Find clue number 2, where green is the scene." "We have to look where green is the scene," said Jack. Jack went into the living room, climbing onto the sofa. He looked up at the painting on the wall. He reached behind the frame and found clue number 2. Michael pulled out the new riddle. "Read it to us, Michael," said Jack. "The egg is for spring when everything grows. Find clue number 3 where the bald man glows." Michael and Jack stared at the clue, scratching their heads. David smiled and tiptoed down into the basement. Think he might know what it is. There on the shelf stood Great Uncle Harry's tennis trophy, which was shaped like a tennis player, a bald tennis player. David pulled out clue number 3 and another puzzle piece. "I found it!" yelled David. The others raced downstairs, and David read the clue aloud. "The shank bone reminds us of when the Jews fled. Find clue number 4 where Frank rests his head." "That doesn't make sense. Who is Frank?" asked Jack. Rachel giggled. "You'll have to figure it out." "Please give us a hint," David begged. "What do you think? Who might Frank be? Can you think of something that's maybe sometimes called a Frank? What's a Frank?" "Maybe Frank isn't a who, but a what?" said Rachel. Rachel's puppy thumped down the stairs, tail wagging and drool flying. Hey, it's hot dog, Michael exclaimed. Hot dog is another word for Frank. I know where Hot Dog rests his head, Michael said. He pointed to the dog bed under the cushion. Was clue number 4. Apoli Charoset reminds us of bricks. Find clue number 5, where Rachel does tricks. Where Rachel does tricks. Rachel's magic set, Jack shouted. Lead the way, Jack, Rachel said. In Rachel's closet, behind the stuffed animals, underneath her pink boots, was her box of magic tricks. And clue number 5. Maror is bitter. I don't like the taste. Find clue number 6, where we recycle, not waste. So where do you recycle? Is it the recycling bin? The scavenger hunt team dashed to the kitchen, practically knocking over Mom and Aunt Sarah. David reached under the recycling bin for clue number 6 and the last puzzle piece. Mazal tov, cousins, use your sharp eyes to assemble the puzzle and find your big prize. Michael, David, and Jack spread the puzzle pieces on the floor. They moved the pieces around until they fit together. It's a Seder plate, David said. It has all the clues from our scavenger hunt. Karpas, egg, shankbone, charoset, and maror. So where's the afikomen? Michael asked. I know, said Jack. He raced to the dining room and lifted the Seder plate from the table. Underneath was the afikomen, wrapped in a white napkin. How did you get it under there, Rachel? Asked David. You were with us the whole time. Uncle Harry, did you see her sneak back? Asked Jack. I didn't see a thing, said Great Uncle Harry. He winked at Rachel. I've just been sitting here resting. Right, Rachel? Right, Uncle Harry, she answered. The end. Now, in this story of the Passover scavenger hunt, Rachel and her cousins go and look for the afikomen. Now, all of you will be participating in Passover Seders in a few weeks, and you will be looking for the afikomen. So, in order to practice and get ready, I wanted to offer an activity, a game, and a craft for you to do at home over the weekend. The first is to make your own afikomen bag. Now, this is a special bag that your family will hide the afikomen in. So you will know what it looks like and you'll be able to help make that. Now, with your parents' help, I offer to you to look through your home and find an old article of clothing that maybe doesn't fit you anymore. Something that you don't need because you're not using anymore, but something because you don't use it anymore, but something that might still be meaningful to you or to your parents. Maybe you have a onesie or a favorite shirt from when you were smaller. I chose a shirt from one of my trips to Israel, where we went to Shomer Achi, which is a farm. Now I'm going to take this shirt and using scissors and hot glue, I'm going to cut off the sleeves and make myself a sleeve for my afikomen. Now I invite you at home to do the same. And once you've made an afikomen bag, you can practice for the afikomen hunt. Now, just like they did in the book, you can make a scavenger hunt. Now, what we would be doing at school this week is every day we would be hiding the afikomen. And every day it would get a little harder and a little harder and a little harder. So families, I invite you to help your kids play this game at home. Hide an afikomen or something in the bag that you make together. And start one day by hiding it somewhere fairly accessible. The next day, hide it somewhere a little harder and somewhere a little harder. And eventually, you can start making clues just like they did in the Passover Scavenger Hunt. You can have a one-step scavenger hunt, a two-step scavenger hunt, all the way until you're spending all day looking for clues and trying to find where your afikomen could be hidden. I hope this story and these activities give you something fun to do over the weekend. I hope you have a very peaceful and restful Shabbat, and I'll see you all on Monday. Have a great weekend, Lions.